Hello everyone, this is Fonz Wake Up Fonz, and welcome back to the channel for another reading. It's probably been a little bit since you've heard this voice, but I'm sure you've caught me over on the blog, posting things. So, here we are. We are going to be talking about EXO and their future with the company, what's going to happen, and why Lay decided to leave SM Entertainment after, 10 years of being with them. I'm sure you probably have an inkling, if you're watching this video, what could have happened between them. But I'm gonna tell you the vibes. So first, we are gonna start off with why Lay left the company and what's going on with that before we get into the meat and the bones. So going into it straight up and straight away is the Hierophant, Five of Swords, and the Hangman in the upright, and our overalls, the Fool, Page of Pentacles, Hermit, Six of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Star. So, this is essentially saying, straight up, hopefully you cannot hear that whatever the hell that is. It's probably a lawnmower. Dadgummit. Always when I'm recording. Anyways, they weren't doing anything with him. And they weren't promoting his career, although, he does have fond memories, likely with EXO, the group, and the members, and being close to them. They were not treating him right. He was being hidden away. He was just kind of, like all of his talent and things were being stored up for no reason. So thus he had to go elsewhere to do other activities, and he found himself, and he really found a place where he felt comfortable and being himself, showing himself, and he kind of found his worth outside of SM. So realizing that at this point it's just kind of like something that's there. It's like you need to cut a tag off of a shirt. There is no reason, because no one's gonna bother you about it, but it's like, why is it there? So he just cut the tag simply because it's giving here also looking that if he just decided to stay there, it probably would have been just as long in a silent period as it was over the past couple of years of them not doing anything with him, them not including him in promotions, and so on and so forth. Overall bottom, the Full, Six of Cups. He did look back on the past, and he probably chooses to remember the good things, but there's just no reason to have it around anymore. So the biggest thing that one can do is know when to move on. So the Fool, he just decided it's time. So now moving on to EXO as a group, now promoting as 8, and what their fate is going to be as individuals in the relationship with the company. Okay, now that we are back, we have a positively massive spread talking about each individual members, where they're gonna end up with EXO, the future, so to say, and the overalls for the group, and then we'll move into the secondary question. So let's just get started before I spoil everything. So first, from left to right, of course, excluding our dear friend Lay, but I got him in the picture because we love him, is Baekhyun, Jongdae, Suho, Sehun, Xiumin, Chanyeol, Dio, and Kai. So yeah, sorry, I was staring at Chanyeol just for a little bit too long. Anyways, so starting off with Baekhyun is the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So what this means for him is it's likely that he might have considered leaving the company, but ultimately will ultimately consider leaving the company, but is likely not going to do so because he's going to realize that that's a lot of money, and he might move himself into a position where he specifically just decides to work less. And he's going to use that executive power to pass off jobs and to accept the ones that he finds interesting to make his money and to keep a bit of a passive flow going on in the background. So there's no weird stuff there in terms of contract vibes. So next, moving on to Chen, is it actually seems like eventually we might be getting some more solo music from him. He's going to kind of make himself into an individual celeb kind of vibe. It feels not, of course, like he's trying to be better than the group, but he's going to finally embark on his part of the journey, his personal part that he didn't really feel like he got to take himself down. So he might in a way, it's almost like it's giving his opening up his own branch and path. So he's going to start using his star power in the company to start kind of making things happen for himself. So for example, if he wanted a podcast, he's gonna make the proposal and they're just gonna do it because they are among the kings that, you know, help build SM from the ground up. Of course, you know, not discounting the older soloists and groups, is that he's gonna be making his motherfucking money. He's going to start taking advantage of them SM checks and them SM budgets. He's gonna start making it happen for himself. So watch out for Chen in the next couple of years. Even though, you know, he is taking some downtime, you know, doing his army stuff, like, you know, being a husband and a father, he's coming back. Watch out for him. Next we have Suho. He could be also getting married and having a child over the next couple of years. It seems like he is not going to leave the company because, I'm gonna be honest, he has almost this toxic being chained down, this almost fault, loyalty to a fault to things that, how to say, he has this loyalty to a fault to things that are sentimental or precious to him, no matter how much they might have hurt him or done things to him. So it's unlikely that he's going to be leaving the company. So in that sense, in his personal relationship with the company is the one in control. He might not have realized how the others have been able to turn it into a tool that works for them. So he works for the company instead of the company working for him at this coming point soon. So next we have Sehun is Justice and Five of Pentacles. He does not seem like he's gonna stop working there for the foreseeable future. It just seems like he might switch up what he does there. So maybe instead of, you know, making, you know, solo music or, you know, having any desire for that, he's probably gonna stick to his modeling and pick up some acting, doing his variety show thing, and just kind of mind his business. Nothing in that regard is gonna change because that's kind of already what he does now, and he seems perfectly contented with it. So now moving on to Xiumin is Seven of Wands reverse and the Six of Swords. So it seems like he might actually consider leaving, but one thing about this is it feels like he might not leave, simply because maybe in the past somebody could have implanted it in his head that he would never amount to anything without the company or without doing anything. It's almost like, you know, they kind of had to snip his Achilles heel before he got too powerful because they realized his talent. So they kind of had to clip his wings before he realized that to get bigger, straight up. So he might leave, but it feels unlikely that he's going to leave. He might actually just kind of go into the quiet and do what they tell him to do, but he's going to be having to learn some lessons and do some healing over the next couple years, I dare to say. But I would say I'm leaning a bit more likely towards the fact that he's going to stay with the company. But if he does find the strength maybe to leave because of his personal relationship that he has with them, that might be beneficial for him. So now moving on to my man, Chanyeol. Park Chanyeol is the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. It seems like he's likely also not to leave the company, simply just due to the fact that he is finally going to be able to do the things that he wants. So it seems like rather than chasing, you know, money, fame, or greed, what it is he's going to be starting to I guess, crossing things off of his bucket list. Like, this is a song that I wanted to release. I wanted to do this. I want to go here. I want to go there. Because they know that he, in a way, is not fully aware of it like the others are, but he's going to be using the company as a tool that works for him rather than him working for the company. But this could mean rather than through SM, it's through his little, you know, NNG thing with SM money. Thus, then again, I'm not quite sure. Feel free. No, hold up. I'm going to save that to the end. Moving on to Dio. I'm going to be honest. Some of y'all little Dio fans, also I as a Dio fan, are not really going to love how this sounds. It's the Knight of Cups reversed and the Nine of Swords. It seems like Dio might not leave the company, but it's going to be a bit eek. The energy at least coming for the next couple of years is that he is not really going to be feeling it. He might feel like, he's moved beyond the group, not because he hates the members or anything like that, but it's just not what he wants to do anymore. And he feels like he still has to play the role of the character, I guess he was assigned, of Dio when he's Do Kyung-soo the man. It's kind of something that makes him anxious, because it makes him anxious enough that he doesn't leave the company, because he has, I don't know, it seems like there might be something in his relationship with EXO-Ls, the fans and supporters, is what makes it this way. Is that he doesn't want to appear or seem ungrateful for, the things that we have done for him. So he is likely to stay with the company and keep doing his work while gritting his teeth, and you'd never know that it's something that he doesn't want to do or is stressing him out. So now, last but not least, Kai is 6 of Swords and 10 of Pentacles. So as most of y'all probably would have thought or assumed, is yes, he's probably going to be likely to stay at the company, and he's going to be a big money maker still for a while. He's going to be able to create generational wealth with that and just keep moving forward, and do some healing. So it seems like he might just be making some strides forward for other idols that might be like him, or the younger generation of idols. He's really just going to be kicking his feet and doing his thing. So I really love that for him. So now for the overalls, and then we'll get into a bit of a group energy, right? Is the 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, overall bottom. Also, other side is the Ace of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Devil. It's unlikely that SM is going to disband this group. It's very much giving Super Junior. They just don't have that same chemistry of, not chemistry, they don't have the same energy of Super Junior, where they're going to come together out of duty and make an album. So I would say when they decide that they are kind of done making music, don't expect music too often from them, if at all, I dare to say. Also, one thing I'm gonna say is for sure is it's just kind of implied with their relationship towards SM, is that they might go through a lot of stylistic rebrands, and almost implications that there's gonna be some things coming out from them, but they could be either massively delayed, not because of I don't know, I would say astrological things maybe. It's just simply because they can't really always round up the members that might remain to get things done. So, I don't know if I would say EXO is giving defunct, because as an EXO-L, damn, I would hate to even hear such a word. But, it's just giving that things, all of them are going to be growing up and going their own way as they should. They are all kind of on their own agenda, except for Suho and Dio low-key, because of their toxic-ish relationship things. Same with Shubi. So other than that, that is on that, friends. We are going to be moving into the final reading as to what is going to be what is their relationship with SM Entertainment. So let's get it. So now that we're back to it, we're going to be talking about the relationship that EXO has with the company and vice versa. So first, starting off with EXO side, in terms of how they view SM and how they view the relationship, and then we'll move over to SM side, and we'll move over to the general energy in the center, which is kind of what it would look like to the outside viewers and the overalls. So first, how EXO views SM is the Page of Wands and Ace of Cups. How they view the relationship is the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Pentacles. On SM side, how they view EXO and how they view the relationship is the Five of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Hanged Man and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And in the center is the Moon. Overall bottom is Three of Wands, King of Cups, the Moon again, the Eight of Wands, the Fool, Queen of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. So one thing, let's start off with EXO side first. So how they view SM is honestly an opportunity that brings a lot of possibilities, a lot of fun and wild journeys that they would have never been able to experience anywhere else. So for that, thus they are very grateful. It's a very beneficial relationship that they've had a lot of emotional ups and downs involving with the Ace of Cups. So it feels like every time they work with SM, whether that means for a comeback or for their individual things and affairs is it's very much giving it a new experience every time. It's something they can't get anywhere else. But now how they review the relationship is the Wheel of Fortune with Three of Pentacles. It's just giving like, they feel very fond, very, very, very fondly towards the company. And, it's brought them a lot of fortune and a lot of money. And they would see no reason to want to stop working with the company in a way, right? However, it gets kind of sad when we bridge over to SM side before we get to the center. Is how SM views EXO is the mistake that they kind of not necessarily wish they didn't make, but it's kind of like how a parent will look at their child and be like, damn, like I wish I would have did this differently while raising you. And that's the only thing that they can kind of keep thinking about and reiterating over. It's like, damn, look at these mistakes we made and now you're fucked up. Rather than thinking of like, oh, even though, I might not have been the best parent, I still love you for who you are and you're great. It's very much giving like, I fucked you up and now I don't fucking love you. It's how that sounds. Is they kind of view EXO as kind of juvenile, makes a lot of mistakes, and they fucked up. And they are almost like disappointed at all of the mistakes they made, but they can't stop lamenting over those mistakes instead of looking towards their successes in a way as a whole energy. So how they review the relationship with EXO is the Hangman and the Pentacles. Reverses that like, damn, it's giving like they feel like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And it's just kind of like they're almost willing to settle and deal with EXO until, EXO would presumably maybe be the one to break up with them. They ain't gonna stop EXO from dumping them, but they're not going to be the first one to make the move, if that makes any sense. Also, I guess, because SM is probably very wise in knowing that if you were to just, it were to be found out that they were to just drop EXO for no reason, is that not just EXOLs, all of us would be raising up out the ground. Everybody and their mama would come and, lambast them. So they know better in that regard. But yeah, they don't really give a shit about EXO. They don't. And leading into the center is the moon. Lots of just confusion, things unseen. There are just a lot of slights and things going back and forth to the point where it's just kind of like the relationship in a way is illegible. So for the overalls, it's like even though there's opportunities to be brought to them as a group and as individual members, the intentions of one is not seen. So it seems like EXO either might be aware that they're being hurt, but it's giving toxic relationship and they're just kind of taking the punches, or they don't know that they're being hit. It's like waking up with bruises and you don't know how you got them, but you keep going about your life. You know what I mean? Not even stopping to question, like, what could have given me this bruise in the middle of the night or whatever. So, yeah, it's even in this reading yet again, is that EXO is likely not to just disband and disappear. It's giving Super Junior. They're just going to be around, but like I said, I don't know if we're going to be getting music from them as often as we get music from Super Junior. But thus is life. And I'm sure some of y'all already had suspicions about this. So hopefully your suspicions are confirmed. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Drop any requests in the comments or run over to the blog on Tumblr and send me some more requests. Please drop a like on this video. Feel free to share it with other XOLs that might be curious about the situation. Feel free to ask me either on the comments or on Tumblr about any specific members, like I guess specific life posts. I don't even know what to call it. Not even disbandment posts, long-term idolism, whatever the fuck. Feel free to ask me about those and I will read about those. Let me know. Other than that, if you can't get down with it, get down, don't get down with funds. Adios.